Welcome to my next Lost. Season 2 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important if you aren't caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Lost, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, if you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And I've already watched Lost 3 times. In fact, the last couple times that I've watched it, I haven't really let it resonate. I binged it and I kind of forget what happens after I'm done. I mean, I know what happens, but I forget when it happens for something. So I wanted to take my time with it. So I'm watching 1 to 3 episodes per week. But I'm not the only one that's watching Lost. The legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who you see in various review videos like Dexter, Lucifer, and Breaking Bad, is actually watching Lost for the first time. So join us on the journey and let's discuss this awesome and amazing show. No spoilers in the comment section past this episode, as Crazy Coffee Man is watching the show for the first time. And it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Top 5 for sure. So with all that said, this will be Lost, Season 2, Episode 10. The title of this episode is called The 23rd Solemn. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. We have Nigerian guerrillas descend upon a small village. They grab a small boy, Yemi, and try to force him to shoot an old man. The boy hesitates, so his older brother takes the gun and shoots the man himself. The guerrillas are pleased with this and ask him his name, to which he replies, Echo. The leader says that Mr. Echo is a born killer and takes him, leaving his brother and the other children behind. Echo's cross is torn from his neck by the leader, who says, you won't need this anymore. And Yemi picks up the cross as Echo rides away into the distance, facing life as a child soldier. That's our flashback we start off with. And then on the island, we have Claire introducing herself to Mr. Echo and sees that he is carving sculptures into the head of his club. She says he should talk to Charlie about religion, given that the Virgin Mary statue he has been carrying. And Mr. Echo is surprised that the statue was found on the island and demands to see it. And Claire tells him it's just a statue, but he breaks open the statue and shows Claire the heroine inside. Where is Charlie? Mr. Echo asks Claire. Michael sees that Locke has put a combination lock to where all the guns are, due to all the new people that have arrived from the tail section of the plane. Charlie annoys Jin with his beautiful voice. Echo shows up and asks him to take him to where he found the statues and wants to go right now. Mr. Echo has become a powerful warlord in Nigeria. We're back to the flashback, of course. He meets with an Arabic-speaking drug dealer, Middle Eastern or North African, who is trying to get a large quantity of heroin out of the country. Echo offers to do him a favor, buying the drugs at a ridiculously low price and getting them out of the country. Echo correctly knows that the man's quandary is that he's stuck with a large supply of drugs in a country with no market for them and no ability to smuggle the drugs to a richer country. The drug runner reluctantly agrees before he leaves. However, he tells Echo, it's true what they say about you. You have no soul. Echo proceeds to slit the throat of the man and his assistant, but lets the man's son live, saying, tell all your friends that I let you live. That Mr. Echo will let you live. Charlie denies he knew that what was in the statue, but Claire doubts him. Echo demands that Charlie take him to the place where he found the statue. Locke teaches Michael how to use a gun. Charlie takes him to a tree, Mr. Echo, and claims that he found the statue under the tree. Echo becomes upset and demands that Charlie take him to the plane. They see some smoke go by, otherwise known as the smoke monster. And then back to an Echo flashback. Now a grown man, Echo visits the church of his hometown. A woman outside is trying to sell the statues of the Virgin Mary to raise money for the polio vaccines for the village. Echo's brother, Yemi, who has become a priest, appears from the church and greets him. Echo asks him for a plane because only foreign and missionary aircraft are allowed to fly out of Nigeria. He says he will fly the drugs out of Nigeria away from their people and give his brother the money for the polio vaccines. His brother tells Echo that he still loves him but refuses to get involved with the scheme. Back on the island, we have Kate giving Sawyer a haircut, says everyone loves him now. Hurley comes over and Sawyer calls him Pillsbury, adding to the many nicknames that Sawyer has. Michael asks Kate if he can have her shift at the computer entering the numbers in, and Kate agrees. Charlie takes Echo further into the jungle, complaining that Echo ruined his relationship with Claire, and Mr. Echo shouldn't judge him because it was his brother that got him addicted to heroin. Echo and Charlie find a parachute in a tree, which leads to the corpse of the Nigerian man dressed as a priest that Boone and Locke had found way back in season 1, which was just a season ago, but it seems like forever. He opens the man's shirt. The dead man wears no cross, but inside has one gold tooth, which Echo touches. Then he realizes it's not his brother and says a prayer, telling Charlie that this man saved his life. Charlie also notices the scriptures on the stick that Echo carries, and Echo later apologizes, or I should say, Echo later approaches his brother again, another flashback, asking Yemi to sign the papers that will make Mr. Echo and the two other men priests so they can fly a plane themselves. His brother refuses at first, and Echo tells his brother that if he does not obey, he will hurt him, but his friends will burden the church to the ground. His brother reluctantly signs, and Echo gives him the cash, tells Yemi, I guess we're both sinners now. Charlie loses his way, and Mr. Echo tells him to climb a tree. Charlie reluctantly obliges. While he's in the tree, there are explosions in the jungle, and the black smoke, the smoke monster that Jack, Locke, and Kate once saw, arrives. Mr. Echo stands his ground despite Charlie telling him to run. The black smoke approaches Mr. Echo, and Echo stares furiously at the smoke for a few moments. There is a chattering noise, and then there are dark images flashing inside the cloud, images which are from Echo's past. The man he shot, his mother, his brother, a church, and a crucifix. And then the black smoke pulls back and disappears. Michael tries to type a message to Walt, but the computer won't take any input. It comes on by itself, displaying Dad. It asks if Michael is alone, and finally claims Michael has come for him. The person on the computer says that they are coming back, but before he can say any more, Jack arrives. And Jack talks to Michael about Walt, and as soon as, almost forgetting about Walt, and as soon as they can, they will go out and bring him back. When Jack walks behind Michael on his way out, the conversation has disappeared from the monitor. So did the conversation really happen, or did it just disappear? I'm not exactly sure. Echo and Charlie find the plane. Echo and his two gangster friends are dressed as priests in our flashback. As they prepare to board a small plane at a landing strip near the village, they are interrupted by Yemi, who drives up to the plane and begs Echo not to leave. He insists that Echo will die if he gets on the plane. Yemi is soon followed by the Nigerian military. Echo's two friends open fire at the soldiers, and one dies in the firefight. Echo's brother tells the soldiers to stop, but he gets shot himself. Echo carries his brother onto the plane and tells his friend to get in. His friend does, but kicks Echo away from the plane before he can get in, as Echo watches the plane carrying his wounded brother fly away. Echo finds another corpse inside the plane, opens its shirt, and finds the cross around the corpse's neck, and then weeps. Of course, that's his brother Yemi. The military approach, back to the flashback, and mistaking Echo for a real priest, asks Echo, "Are you okay, Father?" Echo ends up burning the plane, and then Echo tells Charlie that the man inside is his brother. He gives Charlie a Virgin Mary statue for the one I broke. And then Charlie asks Echo if he is in if he is in fact a priest himself. Echo pauses and then smiles softly and puts the cross around his neck. Yes, I am. He begins reciting Psalm 23 from the Old Testament, and then Charlie joins in the recitation. Then, back by the beach, Jin introduces his son to Ana Lucia and presents her with a fish, and Hurley helps Livy set up a shelter, both glancing flirtatiously at each other. Sawyer's checking himself out in the mirror with Kate. Jack stops by to give Sawyer some pills. Charlie apologizes to Claire. He admits to lying, but Claire tells him to leave her and Aaron alone. Charlie goes into the jungle and opens a hiding place to reveal additional Virgin Mary statues. He places the one that Mr. Echo gave him, and that's what ends this episode of Lost. So, not the greatest episode, but not a bad episode. I felt some of it dragged a little bit, but it was still interesting and intriguing to see the story. I'm going to give the episode an 8.0 out of 10, and my characters of the episode are going to be Mr. Echo and Charlie. And then if you have to have a female character, not a lot of focus in them, I'll just give it to Kate. One could argue Claire. You had a little cameo from Sun and Ana Lucia, but I'll give it to Kate because Kate is just amazing. Evangeline Lilly. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lost and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please don't forget to Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Lost. What would you rate the episode, and who would you choose as characters of the episode? Remember, you'll be interacting with me and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, so let's hold off on spoilers past this episode. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.